Why do gentle people have such strong boundaries? When my classmate was moving into her new apartment, an elderly lady in the courtyard started trying to get close to her, asking her to let her know if she had any unwanted cardboard boxes so she could collect them. My classmate readily agreed. The next day, after buying some large items, she unpacked them and left the boxes in the hallway. A little while later, someone knocked on the door. It was the building's cleaner, who asked if the boxes in the hallway were hers, as it wasn't allowed to leave boxes there. My classmate explained that they were just unwanted boxes and that she would throw them away soon. The cleaner smiled and offered to dispose of them for her. My classmate agreed, thanking her for the help. Not long after, there was another knock at the door, this time loud and urgent. It was the elderly lady from the courtyard, with the cleaner right behind her. The elderly lady angrily demanded, "Tell her those boxes in the hallway are mine." My classmate looked at the cleaner, who explained, "I was just helping you clean up the boxes when this lady came up insisting that the boxes were hers." My classmate turned to the elderly lady and said, "Auntie, the cleaner offered to help me with the boxes, so I gave them to her." The elderly lady protested, "But didn't you say you'd let me know if you had any boxes?" My classmate replied, "If I had seen you, I definitely would have told you, but I hadn't left the house yet, so I didn't see you, and the boxes were blocking the hallway, which is inconvenient for other residents and a fire hazard, so I asked the cleaner to take care of them. I'll let you know next time I have more boxes." The elderly lady wasn't satisfied. "No, I want today's boxes too." "She shouldn't get them," she said, pointing at the cleaner. The cleaner sighed and said, "Fine, I'm not going to argue with you. They're yours." The elderly lady grumbled and went to get the boxes, which had already been folded and tied up. She grabbed them and got into the elevator. The cleaner apologized to my classmate for the trouble, but my classmate assured her it was no big deal. After living there for a while, my classmate discovered that the cleaner lived in the basement of the building with a child who wore a school uniform. She also learned that the elderly lady's son was a doctor at a nearby hospital, and her daughter-in-law was a nurse. The elderly lady spent her days wandering from building to building, collecting cardboard boxes and bottles. She even used the area behind the courtyard's artificial hill as her storage space. The property management had asked her to clear it out, but she refused, saying that if anything was missing, she would make them compensate her. After that, whenever my classmate had cardboard or plastic waste, she would keep it in her apartment until she saw the cleaner and asked her to come by and pick it up. One day, after work, my classmate ran into the elderly lady in the courtyard again. The elderly lady asked her, "Do you have any cardboard boxes or plastic bottles at home?" My classmate said, "No." The elderly lady was skeptical. "That's impossible. I often see you receiving packages. What about the boxes from those?" My classmate replied, "I'll let you know when I have some." But the elderly lady insisted, "Let me check your place now." My classmate, now annoyed, said, "Auntie, whether I give you the recyclables or not is up to me. You can't force me." The elderly lady snapped back, "So you do have some. Why are you lying?" Fed up, my classmate quickly walked away, not wanting to engage any further. But the elderly lady started cursing at her, saying some very unpleasant things. My classmate abruptly turned around and slapped her. The elderly lady was stunned and didn't react right away. My classmate pulled out a red booklet from her pocket, waved it in the elderly lady's face, and said, "Open your eyes and look carefully. I have a mental disability. Slapping you is the least of what I could do. I could kill you and not be held criminally responsible." After saying that, my classmate walked away. The elderly lady sat down on the ground and began wailing, "A crazy person is bullying me. A crazy person is bullying me. Won't someone do something?" My classmate turned and glared at her, and the elderly lady immediately stopped crying. From that day on, my classmate never ran into her face to face again. Sometimes, she'd see the elderly lady from afar, but by the time she got closer, the lady was gone. In reality, my classmate works at the local Disabled Persons Federation, handling public services. She had rushed out of work that day and accidentally took home one of the disability certificates.